Each of us probably wants to stand out from the rest. Some people do it with talent, while others are known for their unusual hobbies or unworldly appearances. Today we'll talk about the 15 unique humans you won't believe actually exist. From a girl who's allergic to everything to a man with one of the rarest facial conditions ever seen. These are the kinds of stories that push the limits of what we think is possible. And trust me, the last one you probably don't want to miss. So let's begin this list with number 15, Vincent Oketch. When Vincent Oketch showed up at a Ugandan hospital at 10 years old, doctors couldn't explain or believe what they were seeing. His legs were growing, and not in the usual way. They swelled so much that they outweighed the rest of his body. Specialists suspected a rare lymphatic disorder, maybe an unknown infection, but nothing could be confirmed. The media dubbed him the Elephant Legs Boy, and while the name stuck, Vincent carried on. He can't wear pants or jeans. Instead, he sticks to wide t-shirts and loose-fitting dresses to ease the pressure on his swollen legs. It was not easy, but Vincent played, smiled, and was surrounded by a family that refused to treat him like a burden. No one knows exactly what's going on inside his body, but outside, he lives a life as full as he can manage. Jokes, food, stories, and love. Even when answers don't come, Vincent doesn't sit still waiting for them. He just lives. Number 14, Justin Stewart. Justin was born with frontonasal dysplasia, which is an extremely rare condition that shaped the structure of his face before he ever opened his eyes. As a teenager, the mirror wasn't always kind. He felt the difference, and others didn't let him forget it. But he stopped trying to blend in. Now 22, he's working as a model in New York, and not in spite of his face, but because of it. He's also a basketball coach and content creator, raising awareness about his condition and showing others that beauty doesn't start with symmetry. "I try to use my platform for people like me," he said. His last serious relationship ended months ago, and dating hasn't been easy. Most people don't really understand what it's like living with a visible difference. Still, he's ready to try again. He also met Nana, a 28-year-old fashion blogger, on a blind date. Neither of them knows who to expect, but Justin's showing up with openness, not fear. He is a good guy. Number 13, Alazia Louisville. Alazia's face tells a story that started at birth. He was born with cystic hygroma, which is basically a rare condition that caused massive fluid-filled cysts to grow on his face and neck. He couldn't breathe. Doctors performed emergency surgery. They saved his life. Since then, he's lived with a track, a second airway, for safety. But his face still swells every few months, sometimes so badly that he's hospitalized for pain. The bullying was constant. Kids called him Quagmire and even Mr. Potato Head. His parents were his biggest support, but when they passed away in 2019 and 2020, he was left reeling. It felt like I lost everything. But there was one thing he held on to: dance. For over a decade, he's been performing at the Big Four Bridge in Louisville and sharing videos on TikTok. Well, not for fame or likes. "When I dance, I feel free," he said. "It's the only time I don't think about the pain." And that freedom, it shows. Number 12, the girl allergic to everything. Beth was 15 when the rashes started. Since then, her body has reacted to nearly everything, like water, stress, smells, and even her own emotions. One day she's fine, the next she can't touch a product she's used for years. Some reactions are mild. Others send her into anaphylactic shock. Chili, onions, perfume, dust. Just walking past a restaurant or hugging the wrong person can hospitalize her. She eats the same thing daily, avoids strangers, and carries EpiPens in every room. Her partner, Sasha, didn't flinch. She became Beth's full-time carer, cook, lookout, and safety net. They plan every outing with military-level care. At home, Sasha checks the air, the food, and even guests' clothes. The pain can be unbearable. At its worst, Beth screams uncontrollably from burning skin flare-ups. Sasha just holds her hand. They've missed out on normal young adulthood, but they've built a partnership stronger than most folks manage in decades. Beth calls herself lucky, not for the illness, but for who stuck around. Number 11. Ash, aka Trauma Queen. Ash calls themselves the most horror-centric drag artist in Nashville, and for all good reasons. Under the name Trauma Queen, they create full-body drag looks built from safety pins, latex, fake wounds, everything cute and creepy. But one day, Ash stepped way outside their usual world and did something unexpected. They got a Megan Fox-style makeover. "I want to see how far I can go from my usual look," they said. They showed the transformation to their mom, sister, and close friend, who've always stood behind them, whether Ash looked like a punk monster or a movie star. Their family never blinked. "You look gorgeous," their mom said, smiling at the glam reveal. Ash's drag is more than makeup. It started from pirating Drag Race at 14, trying to understand queer identity. It grew into fashion, performance, and community, especially now as anti-drag laws rise. "I pour everything into this," Ash said. "It's loud, messy, fun, but it's mine." They won't trade horror drag for glam anytime soon, but trying both? That's power. Number 10. Kate and Guy. Kate is 24, just 3 feet 9 inches tall, and lives in the UK. She has achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism. Guy is 32, a marine engineer and motorbike racer. He's 5'9". They've been dating for over a year. He first saw Kate's modeling profile and sent her a friend request. She didn't reply right away. It took 9 weeks, but eventually she messaged back. One date turned into many. Some friends and family questioned his intentions. "People assume someone like me couldn't get someone like him," Kate said. Her parents even investigated his Facebook. "It's easy to fake who you are online," her mom said. But when they met him, the doubts faded. "He walked in, and it felt right," her dad admitted. Kate now lives in his cottage. Together, they run her OnlyFans account. His idea. "I've been creating content for 5 years. OnlyFans just gave it income. But she knows the line between admiration and fetish, and she's keeping control." Number 9. Godfrey Baguma. Well, if you look up Godfrey Baguma online, you'll see headlines calling him Uganda's ugliest man. But he doesn't take it personally. Back in 2002, he entered a contest for that exact title and won. But that title doesn't define him. Godfrey has fibrodysplasia, a rare genetic condition that has shaped his appearance since birth. His mother abandoned him at the hospital. He grew up fixing shoes for a living. Eventually, he fell in love, married, and had 2 kids. Later, he remarried and became a father to 6 more. That strange contest? He entered it to earn some quick money for his family. But instead of fading into mockery, he ended up in the spotlight. His look made him famous. These days, he doesn't repair shoes. He sings, shoots music videos, and does stand-up comedy. The world might have laughed at first, but now they pay to see him perform. Godfrey didn't change who he was. He just made people stop looking away. Number 8. Xan Hong. This boy from China lives with a condition that no doctor has been able to fully identify. His skin was thick, rough, and hard, so much so that it's earned him the nickname Fish Boy. The texture resembles scales, and it cracks easily, becoming dry and painful. It was not just a physical burden. Chang stands out in every crowd, and not in ways people always understand. Some compare his look to the fictional grayscale disease from Game of Thrones. But Chang's condition isn't fantasy. It's real, and it affected his entire body. Medical specialists still don't know the root cause. Despite that, Chang keeps moving forward. He goes out in public, works odd jobs, and lives day to day with resilience. What others see as strange, he's learned to carry. There's no miracle cure. There is also no spotlight. Just a man, a rare condition, and a body that fights him constantly. Yet somehow he's still here, still walking through it all. Number 7. Randolyn. Randolyn's Instagram took off fast, but not without hate. Her hips, measuring 180 centimeters, stopped people mid-scroll. Some accused her of editing the photos. Others swore she'd had surgery, but none of it was true. "It's all natural," she said. Born and raised in Atlanta, Randolyn had always looked different. But when she started modeling, people didn't want to believe what they were seeing. They called her fake, exaggerated, even dangerous. She kept posting, kept proving them wrong. Slowly, critics faded. Her followers grew. Now she has hundreds of thousands watching her every post, and all she's doing is standing in her truth. She doesn't use AI. She doesn't hide. She just shows up as she is. "People are tired of filters," she said. "They want real." What once brought judgment now brings opportunity. She doesn't need to explain herself anymore. Her body tells its own story, and these days people aren't arguing, they're following. Number 6. Plastic Besties. Stefan Struibel and Patrick Mast met after watching each other's episodes on Hooked on the Look. They're close friends, and both are deep into plastic surgery. Together, they've spent over 140,000 euros trying to achieve a look they like. Their lips, cheeks, noses, almost everything has been tweaked. People ask if they're transitioning. They're not. "I'm still a guy." "I'm not trying to be a woman," Patrick said. "I just don't want to look boring." Stefan feels the same. "We like how we look." That's enough. Both still identify as male, but they enjoy experimenting with appearance and pushing the edge of what people expect. Right now, they're preparing for a new podcast and shooting promo photos. One of their idols might even surprise them during the shoot. They know people won't always understand. They're not trying to explain anything. "We're not here to convince you," Patrick said. "We just want to look in the mirror and like what we see." Number 5. Ren. Ren was born without hands or elbows, but that was never the focus. She figured out her way around everything: makeup, typing. Her short limbs, or nubs as she calls them, never held her back. What did? The stares. The uncomfortable questions. The guys are too embarrassed to hold her hand in public. And then came Timmy. He didn't flinch. He didn't ask weird questions. He just showed up and stayed. Now, Ren and Timmy post content together on TikTok. Sometimes goofy, sometimes honest. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. She talks plainly about disability, cruel comments, inaccessible spaces, and the emotional drain of constantly being expected to explain herself. But she also shows love, joy, and daily life exactly as it is. She says, "Disability isn't broken. It's just different." Ren didn't go viral by trying to inspire people. She went viral by showing the truth and ignoring anyone who tries to define her by what's missing. Number 4. Ashley. Ashley's life has never followed an easy path. She was born with Naegger syndrome, which affects the development of the face, arms, and hands. She's had over 60 surgeries, including a tracheostomy to help her breathe, and a feeding tube that stayed in for years. Her arms are underdeveloped, and she relies on her feet for nearly everything: eating, typing, even makeup. "People stare," she says, "but they don't understand what I've been through." And what she's been through is more than most. She faced bullying, isolation, and medical trauma, but still came out confident and smiling. Ashley shares her story online, showing exactly how she lives day to day. She doesn't sugarcoat anything, but she doesn't hide either. Her honesty and humor have built a community. Her followers don't see her as an inspiration. They see her as real. "I just want to be myself," she says. And with every post, she reminds people. That's more than enough. Number 3, Ryan. Ryan's arms don't bend, and his hands can't grip, but he lives on his own, makes his own bed, gets himself dressed, and has over 100,000 TikTok followers. He has arthrogryposis, which has fused many of his joints and limited his mobility, but he's never been one to sit back. He learned to use his knuckles for his phone, his mouth to grab what he can't reach, and his legs to scoot around when he was a kid. The doctors told his mom he wouldn't breathe on his own, but he came out fighting. In school, he refused a wheelchair and figured out his own ways to get through the day. Now, his videos mix humor with honesty. Yes, people say terrible things online, but they also tell him how inspiring he is. Ryan doesn't want pity. He doesn't want fixes. He just wants to live life on his terms. "Would I change it?" he says. "Nah, it made me who I am." Number 2, Chapman. Ali is an actress in Los Angeles, but she's used to people looking right past her. She stands at 3 feet 8 inches and has hypochondroplasia, a form of dwarfism. She's often mistaken for a kid, even when she's on set. "In high school, I hated my height. I just wanted to blend in," she said, but she didn't. And now, she doesn't want to. Her first break came when a casting team was looking for a body double. It was I Am Legend, and she stepped in as Willow Smith's stand-in during key scenes. That opened the door to costume-heavy roles: elves, leprechauns, fantasy creatures. But Ali wants to break out of that. "I don't want to play a little person character. I want to play a character who just happens to be short," she said. She's not trying to fit some Hollywood mold. She's trying to work and be seen for who she is, not just her size. Number 1, the man who remembers every day. Orlando Serill didn't start out different. He was 10 years old playing baseball when a line drive hit him in the side of the head. After that, something changed. He could suddenly remember every single day since the accident. What he wore, what he ate, what the weather was like, and even what songs were playing. It wasn't a photographic memory. Scientists now refer to it as calendar synesthesia. Brain scans revealed an enlarged hippocampus, allowing him to store time itself like a timeline in his mind. Ask him what he did on April 12, 1981, and he can tell you down to the minute. He's been studied by neurologists, covered by the BBC and CNN, and is one of the few people on Earth with this ability. But it isn't always a gift. The memory never shuts off. The smallest moments never fade. While most people forget the details, Orlando remembers all of them. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.